DeMar DeRozan has ice in his veins with the tween gallop, pound, spin, pull over the contest from 14, and that's it, as this video is sponsored by our friends at SeatGeek. No timeouts for Portland. Deni Avdija can't get close enough, and the runner from 23 feet is short, and the Kings came all the way back from an 18-point fourth quarter Wait, what? Referee Mark Davis has got his fist in the air. From this angle, there's the shot. Check coach Thiago Splitter's wingspan. He wants a foul, and Davis thinks about it for several beats and then says, wait a minute. DeRozan can't believe it. Russ yells, what? Kings coach Doug Christie is in denial with the no and look of utter confusion. While they review to see the clock status, Russ is praying the replay on the board shows he didn't foul anybody. This isn't the coaching challenge. They used that up in the fourth on this play, which didn't go their way. Check this guy. He's in the Portland crew. He's smirking since he probably thinks it's not a foul, and then, whoa, the big eek face. Like, we're going to get away with this, aren't we? Russ still shaking his head because he can't believe it. First off, this is what we call a train wreck as it gets messy in there. There's some shoulder contact here, and then Deni appears to hit Russ in the face with the ball. That can't be a foul, can it? I don't think so. And normally in these situations, refs swallow their whistles and let the players decide the game. But let's treat this like this is a Bruder film. Davis tells us exactly when the foul occurs.
With 1.5 on the game clock. Therefore, there's 2 free throws. Please reset the game clock.
And this angle has a clock in it, so let's see where we are at the exact moment the clock hits 1.5. Right here. This is when Russ lifts his arm up. Davis does have a clear angle to see that the shoulder does cause contact with Avdija's left arm. This is still a very tough call to make, but at least we can see something happening to justify it. From this angle overhead, does Deni's left arm move at all from contact? Or is this only happening because Deni is thrusting the ball into Westbrook's space, initiating the contact all by himself? I can see in real time why this looks like illegal contact, and unfortunately the other refs are stacked and can't see it clearly. But here's something from a coach's perspective I want you to understand. Russ should never have been in this situation. Never give a ref a chance to decide the game by being in such close quarters to begin with. And I'm familiar personally with this situation because my high school team was undefeated going into their final conference game against our bitter rival, and a guy shot a 3/4 court shot when we were up by 1 with almost no time on the clock, and I was too close to him and they called the foul on me, and I learned from that moment on, you should never be anywhere near the situation to let the ref call it. Just watch how he played almost the exact same scenario at the end of regulation perfectly. Look how much more room he gives himself to stay in front and be in good position to contest. But on this play, he's trying to press with 4 seconds to go, almost guaranteeing he'll get beat, and then takes an angle that brings him shoulder to shoulder where all the jostling happens and gives Davis a reason to blow the whistle. But that wasn't the only crazy thing that happened in this game. I mentioned that the Blazers blew an 18-point lead in the fourth because of plays like this as Avdija just drops the ball out of bounds. And I dig the one Kings fan in this section who can't believe his good fortune. But if you get 2 mitts on it, you gotta catch it. You can hear the Blazers bench yelling to take the foul up by 3 with 16 seconds left.
Not to take the timeout.
So here's where they have to foul.
I think this is too much time on the clock to execute this, but we'll get back to that in a second. Then there was this drop of a rebound out of bounds with a deja oops from Frenchman Maxime Reynaud. Does anyone want to win this game? So now the Blazers are in the foul up by 3 scenario with 12 seconds left. First, what is this pass from Russ? He just tosses it out there and hopes for the best, and he's the luckiest guy in the arena that Avdija decides to turnstile it right to DeRozan. Murray was right there to just tap him on the wrist and take the foul, but he's not ready for the deflection, goes for the shot fake, and here we are, heading into overtime when Russ does the proper defense and influences the miss from Jeremy Grant at the buzzer. Here's an interesting one where the Blazers had a 3-point lead and decide to just take potential receivers out of the play completely by having them stand around in the backcourt. They have all their eggs in one basket. There's basically one place they can go to throw it, and that doesn't usually end well, especially when just tossing the ball out there like Russ did earlier. Incredible play by Keegan Murray to pounce all over it, and then look at that. The Blazers again foul up by 3. When you're ahead, you want the clock to run as much as possible, so with this much time left, this strategy isn't optimal, sports fans. The strategy that does work is using SeatGeek to buy all your tickets to sporting events, concerts, and the theater. They've got a rating system that tells you what kind of a deal you're getting, and I use them anytime I go see the Lakers or Clippers in Los Angeles. I saw Wemby in person with a great vantage point and an even better deal because of SeatGeek. The best part, if you tell them I sent you, you'll get a special deal. Use my code BBALL2025 and save 10% off your next set of tickets. So click that link and download their app with my code. It's as easy as knocking down a free throw, like Donovan Clingan had been doing all season long until last night. But he has been shaky his whole career from the charity stripe, so maybe that's why the Kings put him there 13 times. And what do you think? Does the shot go in based on this expression? Yeah, he left this one way short, so he overcompensates in the next one long. He can't believe it, and now his team is locked into a battle. What the Kings do out of the timeout is still making me scratch my head, and you might be wondering why that is, considering DeRozan heroically hits the shot like we showed in the beginning. Let me explain a concept that sometimes people have trouble understanding. When you are down with 16 seconds like we have here, you must get the best shot you can as quickly as you can. You cannot wind the clock down. You need more possessions. Generally, in these kind of situations, the expected field goal percentage is very low. So you cannot assume you're going to score and then the other team won't have any time to come back and score at you and win the game. You have to assume you're going to miss, so you have time to, if they get it, foul them, put them on the line. Maybe they miss a free throw or two like we've already seen, and then you have time to come back and get another shot. You need more possessions, not less. So what we see here is suboptimal. So that is why I felt like nobody wanted to win this game. And clock management is really important. It's a little bit subtle, like I made that point earlier. So you have to get the best shot you can as quickly as you can when you're down in those situations. And hopefully that makes sense to everybody else. And let me know in the comments. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget, sports fans, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in?